Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We're here for another episode of Transfer Talk. As we always are, plenty of big stories today. Plenty of big stories. We've got Varane, we've got Kane, got Pogba. Who's the other one? Got plenty. We've got plenty. We've got plenty to keep you entertained today. But before we get into all of that, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel with notifications on if you are new. If you are watching on Twitter, come join us on YouTube. And do all of that lovely stuff and join our lovely community. Some comments here. Cop says, hi, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. I certainly haven't. Yeah, I have seen, obviously. I'm sure everyone associated with this channel and myself, obviously, sends our condolences to you and your family and hope you can find strength through what has obviously been an extremely traumatic day for you. Kenny says big transfer news today. Big ones, massive. Any Sancho announcement news? There is no Sancho announcement, none at all. No, not yet. Pogba out, says Mustafa, and big up to RJ in the chat as well. But what are we going to talk about today? Well, wouldn't you like to know? Would you not like to know? Well, let's get into it. Here is what we're talking about today. So we're talking Harry Kane. Kane is apparently going to refuse to go back to pre-season training as he tries to force a move to Manchester City. I suppose that's one way of telling Daniel Levy, look, we had an agreement, you're not sticking to it, I'm not coming to work. This is literally Kane going on strike, I think, which is quite funny indeed. Maybe he really wants to leave Spurs. He wants to win a trophy. Who can blame him? We're also talking Varane, the deal to take Varane from Real Madrid to Manchester United is almost done. It does look like Raphael Varane is going to end up at Old Trafford at the Theatre of Dreams. Is it going to be a dreaming transfer, though? Is it going to be a good transfer? We'll discuss that later today as well. We're also talking Pogba. Is Paul Pogba about to sign a new deal at Manchester United at Old Trafford? I mean, there's a lot of talk about Pogba. There was always a lot of talk about Pogba, his agent Riola. So there's always going to be that added chat about Paul Pogba. But is he about to pen a new deal at Old Trafford? We're also talking Romelu Lukaku. Chelsea and Manchester City have both made contact with Lukaku over a possible summer move. We'll give you Lukaku's agent's response in today's show. And obviously, last but not least, Arsenal have reached an agreement in principle to sign Ben White from Brighton. It looks like it's a here we go moment. Here we go for this one. But that is what we're talking about today. As I say, please do hit that like, subscribe button. And let's go to some comments once everything loads up. That did that. There we go. Once everything loads up. RJ, hi. Also big up Niall, obviously. Hello, RJ and all. West Ham have signed Fuking. No one for you too. Fucking no one. Love it, Lanzi. Love it. Sell Pogba. Indeed. Sell Pogba. That's what you think, anyway. Wow, no added banned words. Big up and fair play. Yeah, unfortunately, we've decided to become a bit like North Korea for a few days. I'm sure that will all change. The big quiz. We've got a big quiz tonight. Russ is in charge of that. I'm going to be a panelist. So good luck, Russ, because just ask RJ what I'm like as a panelist. I can be quite loud, noisy, annoying. All of those and more. But it'll be great fun. It'll be a great laugh. That is for sure. But let's get straight into it. Let's talk a bit of Harry Kane. I banned the N-word on Twitch. No one should ever be using that word anyway. Shouldn't need to ban it. That should automatically not be okay to say. Although I've just realised what society we live in. But let's talk Harry Kane. Let's start with a really big one. Let's start with Harry Kane. Harry Kane's teammates believe he may not attend Tottenham training in a bid to force Man City's move, which is mad. That's from Matt Law, obviously. Nuno has already declared the Three Lions 2020 hero. Are you what? I haven't read this completely, but that's bullshit. Is there a player and he plans to hold talks to a 27-year-old striker when he is back from holiday? However, these latest claims state that several members of Gareth Southgate's squad who have just spent the past 6 weeks with Kane think it is possible he will not report back to training. And that, for me, would be huge. I think it would be huge. Mainly because Harry Kane is crucial to Spurs. He's how they play. He is Tottenham. Right? Tottenham are literally Harry Kane. They desperately need him. If he goes, what happens then? What do Spurs do? Because they're going to have to find a new way of creating chances and scoring goals, because he was the highest assister and highest goal scorer last season in the league. This is an incredibly poor Spurs side who only managed 8th in the league. For Harry Kane to produce them numbers, how do you replace that? And I think that is the question for Daniel Levy, because I remember last time that a big player left Tottenham, it was Gareth Bale, actually, ironically. It was Gareth Bale to Real Madrid. Now, they got a shit ton of money for this. They got a lot of money. They spunked it all on shit. I mean, they brought in Soldado, and he was about as good as a chocolate teapot. Like, the issue they had is they had all of this money. They had such an influx of cash when they sold Gareth Bale. They didn't spend it wisely. Daniel Levy has made a habit of not spending his money wisely. You look at who in that Tottenham side has he spent it wisely on? You can say Son. Yes, Son was wise. Who else? Ndombele might be going leaving Spurs already. I mean, Højbjerg had a great 6 months, then fell off a roof, fell completely off the Richter scale. Hugo Lloris, that was a goodbye back then, but he's getting old now. I suppose their defence, obviously, Vertonghen and Alderweireld, they were goodbyes. But that was all Pochettino, wasn't it? It wasn't necessarily Spurs, that was Pochettino. A lot of that came under Poch. So Nuno has got a really difficult job. Not only is there going to be potential unrest with a senior member of his squad, because make no doubt about it, Harry Kane is a senior member of that squad. There's going to be huge unrest with him if he's not allowed to leave. And look, he might not be angry at Nuno because Nuno hasn't done anything, right? Nuno's not done anything wrong. But there's going to be unrest because Daniel Levy is going to have pissed off your star man. Now, we don't know if Nuno was promised that Harry Kane was staying. I mean, if he was, how's he going to feel? If Nuno was promised by Daniel Levy, Harry Kane will remain a Tottenham player next season if you come in, or regardless, we're keeping Harry Kane. What's he going to say? What's he going to do? Because he's going to be like, well, hold up a minute. You promised me that Harry Kane was not leaving. Yeah, he's just walked out the door. So you're going to have potential unrest with the manager as well. Manager might not be too happy. Then, as Kenny pointed out, Son only just signed a contract because he was told Kane was staying. Well, if that's the case, Son's going to be mad. He's going to be pissed off because his partner, his strike partner, who Son has worked extremely well with for many years now, has left, and he was told he was staying. The Tottenham job is impossible right now. As Kenny says, Nuno has an impossible job. He does. Either he's going to have a really pissed off Harry Kane, or he's going to have Son himself and others pissed that Kane's walked out the door. I mean, such an impossible job. And I'm afraid most of it has come from Daniel Levy. Most of it is Daniel Levy's fault. Now, do I think he'll go City? I think he will. I do think he'll end up at Manchester City for the one reason. I don't think Kane wants to stay at Spurs. I think he is adamant now that he wants to go. Right? They had a great chance of winning the Carabao Cup with Jose. They sacked Jose a week before the final. And I think that's an impact of Harry Kane. I think Harry Kane and Son, arguably the two Tottenham players really turned up all season last year, really loved Jose. That Jose got the best out of them two. Not giving Jose that ability in that time to go and win you the Carabao Cup, because don't get it wrong, Man City were really poor on that game. They were really poor in that game. And if you had Jose, a man who has consistently won trophies wherever he's been, he would have won that final. He really would have, because he knows how to win finals. And that team, and regardless of who's fallen out with him, if Serge Aurier has fallen out with Jose, fuck Serge Aurier. He's been fucking shit. For me, if Harry Kane and Son love Jose Mourinho, he's clearly doing something right now. Half the team might not like him. And heck, his football can be trash. His football is disgusting sometimes. But it was effective. It's effective in games like these, in cup finals. And that just wasn't given to Jose. And I think that really hurt. Maybe not hurt Kane, but I think that really annoyed him. Having that chance of getting silverware, whether it's just the Carabao Cup, it is still silverware. Lifting that trophy with Spurs, I think having that ripped away by putting Ryan Mason, a man who has never managed at the elite level. In fact, he's never managed ever at senior level, was chucked in to go and win your cup final against Manchester City at Wembley with fans in the stadium. I thought that was abhorrent. I thought it was shocking behaviour. And I think that is why we are here today. I think that in itself is why we are. I think that's why we've got these issues, because I think Harry Kane, he's obviously always wanted to win trophies. Not being allowed to do that was amazing. Shocking. Kane is adamant he had a gentleman agreement with Chairman Daniel Levy. The Spurs would listen to bids for him this summer. Well, they're not. But Levy is determined to hold on to a superstar and has already rejected £100 million offer for the striker. And I mean, where do they all end up now? I mean, it is a mess at Tottenham. It is a complete mess. Nuno Tavares has scored more goals than Mounty in the mud this summer. Absolutely. Nuno has the impossible job. Varane, here we go. Fucking Ryan Mason was one bad wine tapping miss away from going to extra time with City. Jose would have definitely won. I agree. What's up, guys? Big up Niall. Thank you, Zachary. Where the hell has Wolf been? That is true. Look, we obviously went away for a couple of days, so I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sure Wolf will be back very soon. No, Haaland, it's the end of the world. I mean, not getting a player is not the end of the world, but nice. Getting drunk. You never know. You never know. But that's enough of Harry Kane talk, because Jesus, we could be here forever explaining the ins and outs of why Tottenham are shit. But let's talk Raphael Varane. Let's briefly touch on this. Raphael Varane is on the verge of joining Manchester United. The 28-year-old centre-back agreed with Manchester United on personal terms. Contract until 2026 now. Clubs have to find a solution. Real Madrid want a bit more than 50 million euros. All parties confident the deal will happen soon. That is according to Sport 1. This has been reported widely by a lot of top-tier agents. Man U have offered Real Madrid 50 million euros. Personal terms, no issues. If an agreement between the clubs can be made, he'll sign a 5-year deal, earning 12 million a season. He's always been the first choice centre-back, and United are really pushing for him. So Varane to United, I think that is almost all but done now. This will be the last day, or the last time we talk about Varane until the here we go moment where we do the stream. Because, you know, it gets boring after a while talking about the same old players in all of that. So, no, I think Varane to United, nearly a done deal. Does it improve United? Obviously, it improves United. You're going to hear a lot of rivals play down this move. You are going to hear an awful lot of rivals play down the move of Varane. Oh, he's not that good. Why aren't Real Madrid fans unhappy he's going? Well, you know what? Raphael Varane is still a world-class player. He is an insane talent. And I think Harry Maguire has already proven with John Stones that you put him next to a centre-back who's actually got a bit of pace. And I'm not saying Stonesy has got abundance of pace, but he's on more than fucking Lindelof, right? Maguire's already proven if you put him next to someone half competent at doing their job and someone who's not going to get bullied around and that Maguire doesn't have to worry about, he's an insane talent. So, yeah, I think Maguire and Varane at the back, I think that's definitely got the potential to be a formidable partnership, absolute formidable partnership. Just because of how good that I do think Maguire, and my opinion on Maguire has changed over the summer and back end of last season. Maguire is definitely a really good player. Lindelof is a major issue. Maybe I should have saw that sooner, but you know, I think Stones, when you realise that he doesn't get, I think Stones, everyone has a bad game, but I think Stones and Maguire is definitely a better partnership than Lindelof and Maguire. So I dread to even think what a Varane-Maguire partnership looks like, because I do think Varane is better than both of them. Of course he is. I genuinely think he is better than both of them. So I think that's only going to be good things for our back line than Lindelof and Maguire. Varane over Thiago Silva, I would agree with that. You mean the yes X moment? No, he was hacked, wasn't he? Apparently Ben White is better than Raphael Varane. Well, no. No, Zach, I'm confident in them. Virgil will get us back on top, and it will be better if we sign Locatelli, Saul, and Renato Sanchez, in my opinion. I do hear that. If you can get one of them, it will be really good. Stone's got Felipe Chiesa. What one game makes him a shit centre back? Should we talk about Rudiger, Christensen, Thiago Silva? And if that is how we call it, one game and they're shit. Crikey, me and you need to talk about your Chelsea defence, especially when you can see 5 goals to West Brom. Then we need to talk. Someone has gone to United Stadium to force them to announce Sancho. It will get done. Look, I don't get all this thing of, announce him. It's a done deal. He's on holiday. Let him go and enjoy his freaking holiday. I know he's already done the photos, but just let him enjoy his holiday. But let's move on to Paul Pogba. Let's talk about Paul Pogba. As you'll see, Paul was made captain of the game last season. Real Sociedad, I think, in the Europa League or Granada. One of them two. One of those. And Paul, under Ollie, for the back end of last season, was really good. I think, for me, Pogba is an insane talent. Some of the things he can do with a football is insane. And if you put him with a DM, and I don't want to hear this bullshit of, oh, you got to get a player to play, make him play well. Well, duh. How do you think Kevin De Bruyne plays well? Let me give you a helping hand with that. So he's got Fernandinho, Rodri behind him. Believe it or not, the best players do require to have the best players around them for them to be successful. Because believe it or not, a one-man team, especially in midfield, never gonna happen. Look at some of the United midfield partners of before. Scholes and Kane. Well, guess what? Scholes will be allowed to be a bit more advanced because he's got Roy Keane stood next to him. Like, this myth, this absolute myth that, oh, because you have to get players in that automatically makes them a shit player. Well, no. Making Pogba play with Fred or McTominay makes him a shit player because they bring the overall quality of that midfield down. Paul Pogba is a world-class player. Yes, he's inconsistent because he's never been able to get consistently into his place. He's a left-sided central midfielder, which, guess what, would require him to go into the centre of midfield. But last season he had to play left wing or right wing because Ollie had this weird, disgusting fetish for McTominay, which is revolting. That is like having a kink of wanting to shag old ladies. It's absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. Like that disgusting thing in midfield of McTominay and Fred, that needs to be disbanded quicker, and that stinks up football. It does. It really stinks up football, that does. Fred and McTominay as a partnership is disgusting. It is everything football is against. They have no ability. They have no right to be doing central midfield at Old Trafford in Manchester United. No way. I mean, I don't care if Fergie and Mourinho or love McTominay. No, he's not good enough. It's disgusting. I wouldn't even take him at Argyle. I would not take them at Argyle. But on Paul Pogba, a return to Paris is not thought to appeal Paul Pogba at present. Emmanuel making efforts to retain him. Sources believe he is open to staying. United are measuring the potential cost of replacing an important player against the price of keeping him. So what they're working out is it more expensive to keep Paul Pogba than replacing him? That's what United are working on. Well, the simple answer to that is probably cheaper to keep Pogba, especially if you can bring in a competent DM. If you could get maybe a Declan Rice or, fuck it, maybe push a boat out and go for Ndidi. If you could get someone of that ilk, like a good DM who can sit in front of that back line, allow Pogba and that to be more advanced. Because from what I'm hearing, Ollie wants to change his system next year, and rightly so, it needs to. Apparently what Ollie wants to do is go to an attacking 4-3-3, which would make sense. So instantly, that means Bruno and Pogba would be your more advanced midfielders. They would be the players that would come in and do a bit of the dirty work in tackling, but their main job is to be going forward, producing them chances for the front three. That is how you'd see that. Then someone's going to have to sit in. But you're not going to ask Fred or McTominay to sit in because they can't. Only McTominay. Right, Fred has got the skills to do it. His discipline is woeful at best for it. McTominay hasn't got the skills for it, but his discipline makes him good for it. If you could combine McFred into one player, that's actually a fairly good DM, but unfortunately you can't do that. So that means either one of them is going to be asked to sit in, instantly bringing the quality of midfield down again, because you can't have a midfield three with two really good players like Pogba and Bruno and bring them down with a McTominay or Fred. Right? You can't do that. Now, you could say Matic, and Matic could do that, but he's getting a bit older. So you are going to need to replace Matic, because Matic is a number 6, but has he got the legs for it? Well, maybe. Now, you ask him why. If he can just sit in front of that midfield and have Pogba and Bruno doing the running, and all he's got to do is sit in front of the two centre-backs, cut out passes and spring passes along, I think he could do that brilliantly. Brilliantly. If he is asked to if he's still asked to run and do all the running and to really command that midfield, he ain't going to be able to do it because he ain't got the legs for it. So Matic is a really good player, and you can really get the best out of Matic. You're going to have to change how your midfield dynamic works. So in a double pivot, Matic can't do that. He cannot play in a double pivot. No way. That would kill him. That would kill him. After about 2 games, he'd be dead. But if you put Matic in that DM role, where all he's got to do is cut out passes, start attacks from deep, spring in the passes and all of this, then Matic is brilliant to have and someone that you need. So I think that's really important. That would be really good if Ollie can coach that, sort of get Bruno and Pogba doing the running, get Pogba, Bruno doing the heavy work, and Matic just sitting there. Matic could do another season. Look, if United can't get another midfielder, it's not the end of the world. Ollie's just got to be really, really fucking smart. Now, whether that is expose James Garner to the Premier League so early, I'm not so sure about that. But could Matic do a job in that midfield? Yes, without a doubt. He could definitely do a job in that midfield. You ask him to sit, he'll sit. You ask him to not do the running, he'll happily not do the running. But it does require Pogba and Bruno both to be aligned and do the running for Matic, right? That means Matic cannot be dragged out of position, right? He just can, because he won't be able to get back in time. So it's going to take a lot of work from Ollie, but it can be done. That's the thing. It can be done. It takes a lot of work, though. It takes a damn lot of work for it to happen. But if you can get a Camavinga, maybe a bit of work could be done there. Maybe a bit of work could be done there with Matic and Camavinga. Maybe. Even a Declan Rice. Declan Rice would excel in that performance. Or maybe even a Phillips. Some comments here. Matic still has something to offer. Matic can be the teacher for Camavinga. If only Matic and Fred can do fusion. Yeah, I mean, if only you could swap Fred and Matic's brains about. If you could just swap their brain, that's all you need to do. Just swap their brain. Fred has got the worst football brain I've ever seen. Matic has got one of the best football brains I've ever seen. So, just swap the brain. Just cut the top of the head off. Take one brain out. Put the other ones in. Give Matic a younger body. He'll do wonders for you. He'll do absolute wonders. Like Cavani, Greenwood. I don't know why you would say that, Kenny, because they're two different players. And also, Greenwood has got such an exceptional talent in him. Why would you want to take that away from him? Cavani can't use both feet. Cavani is a very good striker, don't get me wrong, but Greenwood, such an exciting talent. In Sancho, Heaton, Varane, Trippier, and number 6 out. Pereira, Lingard, Dalot, Jones won't be sold because no one wants him. Yeah, I hear that. Sell Lindelof. What would you're gonna need backup. Xavier will probably go out and loan there. Rangers 1-1, Arsenal 72 minutes in. With the money Brighton will be getting for White, I think Brighton could buy a quality striker. Yeah, I think there is definitely truth in that. I also think that they're going to need to replace Ben White a little bit, but I've no fear for Brighton. Sell Bailly, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, unless it's a here we go, I'm not interested. He's not a DM. He's box to box as well. I can say it when I come on via the link. No, I mean Cavani teaches Greenwood a lot. Oh yeah, well, that's true. Why can't we sign Basuma? He's box to box and not a DM. He's not a DM. He's not got the maybe he's not a DM. He's not a DM. He will be. I know he plays for DM for Brighton, but there's a big difference between playing DM for Brighton to playing DM for Manchester United. A huge difference, believe it or not. I know, it's shocking. I know, utterly shocking. Next, we're going to move on to Romelu Lukaku. These two are really quick stories. Won't take long to really talk about these, but it does put Chelsea and Man City in a lot of problems now. They've got more problems than I care to imagine. Also, I need to get Lukaku's arm out of my face. Chelsea and Man City both have made contact with the entourage of Lukaku over a summer move, but the player is not willing to make a move to the Premier League. This is bad news for Chelsea. It literally means it's Haaland or now. Who would have thought that Manchester United would be doing better business than Chelsea? Not me. I never thought that would happen. I never thought that would happen at all. I think this is shocking. Well, it's not really shocking, actually, at the end of the day. Shocking that Man U are doing better business than these two clubs. These two clubs. Much better business. Absolutely shocking that that is the case. But what do Chelsea and Man City do now? If Man City can land Kane and Grealish, look, and we all know how salty Daniel Levy will be. He will sell Harry Kane to Man City even if they bid less than Chelsea. Just because he won't want to sell Chelsea. It's really that simple. So, yeah, what do Chelsea do? If they don't get Haaland, they are fucked. You go from Lukaku to Haaland to, we'll keep Tammy Abraham. Looks like Manchester United has been found in London. Would be really, really poor. Would be really poor. Never mind now. Ignore it. Got baited. Unlucky. 2-1 Rangers. Arsenal losing 2-1 to Rangers. Low. It's only pre-season. Arsenal concede 2 goals from corners in the same game. Have Arsenal hired your old set-piece coach? Arsenal must have hired the set-piece coach from Old Trafford last year. Got to say it before you. Let's go Stevie G. Arsenal are shit. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal aren't in a great. They're not in a great position at the moment. But Chelsea, what happens with that club? What happens with that club? And more importantly, why have Chelsea signed Ed Woodward's twin double from last year, from the year before that? Mad. It is mad. But look, Lukaku to Chelsea. Nope, not happening. Lukaku to Man City? Nope, not happening. Lukaku ain't leaving. He's made that apparently abundantly clear via his agent. But last but not least, let's talk about Arsenal as they're losing 2-1 in a pre-season friendly to Rangers. For Chelsea, it's Haaland or nothing, and for City, it's Kane or nothing. Yeah, pretty much. Arsenal have struck an agreement in principle to sign Ben White. Arsenal have struck an agreement in principle to sign England centre-back Ben White from Brighton, deal for a 23-year-old subject to medical and will take some time to be completed. Brighton have always wanted guaranteed 50 million. This is from The Athletic. So Ben White, basically, Arsenal just needed to stop fucking about. They didn't want any of this. Oh, well, if we achieve this, you can get this. Because they know Arsenal at the moment are not achieving anything apart from a tuna mayo sandwich at half-time or whatever they have. An orange, right? They're not getting any of that. They're not getting any of it, right? They're not winning anything. You can't trust Arsenal to get Champions League football, can you, fuck? You could trust Plymouth Argyle to get Champions League football above Arsenal this week because they are poor. So you've got that to sort of handle. So I think really it does make sense. It does make sense that Brighton just wanted 50 million guaranteed. Don't care if that's whether it's in installments or financial add-ons like United had to do with Sancho. They just want 50 million. Don't fuck us about. Just give us the 50 million and all will be good in the world. So you had that to sort of deal with as Arsenal. Brighton weren't going to be fucked about by Arsenal. Not happening. So they just wanted They just wanted the money. They just wanted money. They wanted it all sorted. Give us that money sorted. Just don't fuck us about. And that is what Arsenal have ended up doing. They've ended up going, okay, we won't fuck you about, but we don't really want to pay, but we won't fuck you about because, you know, Chelsea City in the mud. For Chelsea, yep, done that one. Big one. Darryl Dike is Lukaku's lookalike. Yeah, he's a player from the Championship, isn't he? Lukaku not leaving. Ben White laughing his head off. Good player. Future US striker, apparently, according to Zachary, from Bournemouth. Yeah, shout out to Phoenix. Dortmund losing 3-0. Haha, Kenny, that's funny. Dortmund deserve it. Why do Dortmund deserve it? God, I don't know this hatred for Dortmund. But what we'll do is I'm going to put a link into the chat. So you lot can come on and have your say, talking about anything we're talking about in today's show. Whether that be Harry Kane, whether that be Raphael Varane, whether that be Paul Pogba, whether that be Romelu Lukaku, or whether that be Ben White to Arsenal. So come on, have your say about any of the things we have spoken about there. Jealous, you got gold tickets, Phantom, disgraceful club. Big up everyone, no Chris today. Chris is actually at a pre-season friendly for Carlisle. Not sure where, but he's at a pre-season friendly. But we are joined by Kenny. Kenny, how are we doing?
I'm doing fine. Someone's literally just broken into the Woody United training ground to make them an outside show. I don't believe this.
Disgraceful.
Don't go breezy.
100%. We're also joined by Cop and RJ, and no one has got an AV today. Gareth says, can't wait for the F1 sprint race. Yeah, I am excited about that as well. And Phantom of Many Topics says Marina needs to pay the ransom. Yeah, just pay it, get it done. But Kenny, we'll start with you. What story do you want to talk about?
Can I talk about Pogba and Kane?
Go for it.
So with Paul Pogba, this is very, very promising news. Of course, last season, once he actually recovered from COVID fully, he was a different monster. He saved us. I think it was against Burnley, Fulham, and someone else. He got us points. And it'll be a very good thing if we manage to sign him a new contract. On the thingy about him, whether he'll get more money from losing him or keeping him. I think his shirt sales definitely get us more money from keeping him. Definitely, because his shirt sales, he's one of them. I think he's the most marketable player in our squad, even including Sancho. So I think definitely we will offer him a contract. I think that will be what we will do. I hope we don't offer him a 400,000 week one. I hope we offer him 300,000 or 250. That he might accept it, or 350.
Well, what about 350 plus player incentives? So he gets a certain amount for scoring so many goals. He gets so much for so many assists. I mean, we do it at our goal. It's just incentive bonuses, really. That's what I would do. If I was United, I'd sit Paul down and go, look, we're not giving you a 400k contract. Don't be ridiculous. That's absurd. But what we're willing to do is we'll give you 250,000 a week or 300k a week, and we'll give you, let's say, 100 grand if you score so many goals, or something, or maybe 500,000, or just chuck in a shit ton of player incentive bonuses and sort of do it like that.
We always have a Ballon d'Or clause, which is quite funny for some reason.
Yeah, but I mean achievable clauses. So, I mean, the Ballon d'Or is a very, very unlikely thing to win at the moment because just anyone getting a Ballon d'Or is incredibly difficult. What I'm saying is if Paul Pogba scores a certain amount of goals or he gets a certain amount of assists, personal sort of accolades from Paul Pogba, firstly, gives him an incentive to work even harder. And I'm not saying that they would need to, but it really does help, right? So yeah, I think doing all of these, think it really, really helps. So I do see that. And look, the Ballon d'Or clause, I think that's just a stupid clause to have in any contract.
Yeah.
I do hear that. We'll go to Kane with you in a second. I want to go to RJ next. RJ, Paul Pogba, Manchester United. What's your opinion on that?
I see no problems with Pogba in United. I think Pogba's really happy to stay at United. And look, he understands that there's a process here at United where we're getting better. We'll eventually win something. I think there's a third party here who
he also understands the process of how to get a new contract. Just be a stubborn just be a stubborn little prick. Be like, no, I might leave. Tell him I might leave. Oh no, I'll stay. How much are you giving me? It's like you got to commend Paul. He's a good lad as well. Ollie loves Paul. They worked with it. The best bit and the bit that really makes me laugh is when everyone goes, "Oh, Pogba has no respect for Ollie." You sure about that? Because you sure about that? Because when Ollie was the manager of the under-23s, there was a certain Paul Pogba coming through at that time. Mm-hmm. So Paul Pogba and Ollie already have a very good relationship. One that has been back. What? How old's Pogba now? What? 27, 26, 28?
Hold on, I'll look that up for you.
Thank you.
Hold on. Paul Pogba. Mr. Pogba is 28 years old.
Yeah, so about 10 years ago, him and Ollie, or maybe even before that, him and Ollie became very close at a certain team called Manchester United under-23s or 21s. So they already had a working relationship. So this whole Pogba don't respect Ollie or don't like Ollie, complete bullshit. Also, Ollie is probably the main reason you saw Paul Pogba playing well back end of last season after what Mino Raiola did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's why I genuinely think. All right, they scored. Jesus, congratulations, you're drawing with some fucking farmers. Sorry, no, we're just talking about the Arsenal game. We'll get into that later on, but don't worry.
Just called Rangers Farmers. Jesus.
I mean, they do play in the SPFL. Like, there's nothing special there. Like, I could probably
Hibernian are a great team. Just ask Arsenal.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll just fucking go over there and play for fucking no problem. Anyway, what I'll tell you is this team. I think Pogba genuinely wants to win something at United. Look, we won the Europa League. We won the FA Cup with Pogba. We won the Carabao Cup as well, the League Cup. Yeah, we haven't won the Premier. I think that's one thing he wants. He wants to bring something big, saying, "Look, my time at United wasn't the most successful, but here, look, I decided to bring them back to the."
Imagine if he actually genuinely signs a new 4-year deal and walks away with the Premier League and the Champions League. Like,
it could happen.
You could just imagine. You could imagine him when he's old, going, "I brought them the trophies. I am Pogba." Like that. That man's going to write a book. How did Pogba make United successful, or something like that? Like, he has got an ultra ego about him, hasn't he? So
through all the challenges and big men like Mino Raiola, Paul Pogba goes through the case and gets the dub. No, in general, like I said, if I was going to say this now, I do think he'll sign a new contract because, like I said, we'll get hopefully we get a new CDM. That'll allow him to play more forward. Him and Bruno playing with Cavani, Sancho, Greenwood next season. Obviously, Rashford will probably be out for about 2 months, etc. You know what it means. You know how it is. Mm-hmm. Realistically, he should not have been in the Euros. He wasn't really needed in the Euros, if we're really honest. Ollie,
Gareth, Arteta definitely didn't use him, so didn't need to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Didn't need to. I've renamed Gareth as well. I've put 2 of the managers that he most resembles. Ollie because neither of them like making substitutions, and Arteta because he's just genuinely shit.
That's fair. No, but like I said, do I see this deal happen where Pogba just signs a new contract? 100%. I don't know why he wouldn't, but we'll have to wait and see, shall we?
Well, look at wherever he goes. Like, and I swear we've spoken about this on the United show before.
Go on.
I basically look at the rebuilds. So Manchester United, you would hope, if you're not, something has gone badly wrong. you would hope you're near the end of your rebuild, right? You should, in theory, be near the end. All I can think you need, if you get Varane, all I think you'll need, a backup right back, competent CDM. I think you'll be challenging for a league title. I mean, you got Cavani for an extra year. You got Greenwood, who's coming through under Cavani, and I mean, Greenwood's about to rip shit up, because don't forget, we've also not seen a proper Greenwood. You saw raw Greenwood in his first season. You saw Greenwood with God knows how many issues last season, and then still towards the end of it started ripping up shit. I still don't think Tottenham have recovered after what Greenwood did to him. And Brighton, he scored a header. So you still haven't even seen a fully fit Greenwood or fully fresh Greenwood. He's also had the entire summer off. So Greenwood next season is about to go and rip up the Premier League and set a new rule book.
100%. I can't wait for these, players like Greenwood, people like, Varane to come in. Like I said, next season will be a good team for United. And I think genuinely we could be title contenders for all we know. So I think we'll win it.
I don't care about the others. I don't care about the others because I'm just Greenwood. I'm just Greenwood FC. Yeah, I just want to be able to end this debate with Saka, because I think it's absolutely disgusting how Saka's been put in this conversation. Absolutely disgusting. I mean, the Martinelli one has already been done and dusted. Martinelli still can't get into the Arsenal side, so that debate's done, guys. Just chucking that out there. And Saka, don't you ever dare try to put Saka in a debate with Starboy. Not happening. That's disrespectful. You can put Saka in a debate with, I don't know,
Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a fair one. Actually, that's probably a fair one because neither have really broken into their teams. But I do want to go to Phantom before we talk about Harry Kane, and I'm sure Kenny and RJ has definitely got something.
I'm not even going to believe that Harry Kane has even a snowball's chance in hell of coming to Chelsea. Not because
not to Chelsea.
But because he's not coming to Chelsea, so I don't care about Harry Kane. Go to Man City, go to Man United. I don't care where you want to go.
But I want to talk to you about Lukaku because obviously both teams, City and Chelsea, both have walked up to Lukaku and made contact with his agent. But Lukaku said, "I don't want to go back to the Premier League." What do you make of that?
I think it's a ploy. Okay, this is from the Chelsea side theory. Okay, from our fan theory, and I don't have anything to back this. Lukaku doesn't like to play second fiddle to Haaland. No one wants to be that second girl or whatever. You saw that movie, A Beautiful Mind. Where they said, "Hey, let's not go after the pretty girl. Let's all just ignore the pretty girl and go after the other girl or whatever, and then we'll get the other girl." But so he doesn't want to be the other girl. I think that's the issue. I don't think it's he doesn't want to come to the Premier League. He just doesn't want to be second choice to Haaland. I think it's an ego thing, So if we were saying, okay, we don't want Haaland, we want Lukaku, then his tune might change. So I don't think it's as permanent as whatever he's saying, unless he's scared to come to the Premier League, and if that's the case, we don't.
Maybe it's because he's happier into it. I mean, you look at Chelsea when he was at Chelsea, he was really unhappy. Then he had that time with United, and that didn't go swimmingly. Even though he performed really well, the fans were still on his back. Don't ask why. United fans are a bit weird. The football Twitter side of it is anyway. Maybe he's just found at home at Inter, and he's like, I actually just want to stay at Inter.
Or maybe he's looking at all the racism against black people in the Premier League. If you don't score,
it won't be that. But it won't be that because there's a shit ton of racism in Italy. I mean. More than what's over here, Italy have got some of the worst racism issues I've ever seen.
So,
Mario Balotelli literally got abused there.
Danny
Alves.
There was a time where Balotelli even was reduced to tears with the racism in Italy. Italy, I mean, people. Look, I'm not saying England's perfect by no stretch of the imagination. We got a big issue and we need to deal with it. But Italy, they're just disgusting. Italians are absolutely vile, disgusting creatures. I'll just happily say that.
Right. Well, and as far as with Holland and the financial fair play thing, I think that all we have to do is just say, okay, well, Holland, you're going to get like 290,000 a week, so we don't, you know, challenge our wage structure, and we'll just give you Dad $100 million for the transfer fee. It's like, and there's a way around financial fair play. So,
You don't need to worry about financial fair play.
If Man
yeah,
City can get out of it, you guys
I don't really
give
think so.
you
No,
Roman and Abramovich.
UEFA have pretty much scrapped it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
don't
our team
understand
is
that.
yeah, but our team is so afraid that they'll bring it back because UEFA never they change their mind on a daily basis.
Nah,
So.
the minute they lost the court case to Man City, financial fair play was done. They basically they obviously we all heard of City being chucked out of the Champions League for 2 years because of financial fair play. They then took UEFA to court. UEFA lost the case, so yeah, it was at that point financial fair play was out the window. Because if you can just go to court and get out of it, then that's financial fair play done.
Okay, so but what do you think is the hang up then? Why isn't Maria just saying, okay, you want 176 euros, here it is, or you want 150 pounds, here it is? What is the hang up on our side? It appears the hang up seems to be on our side rather than the other side. According to
I don't think it is. I don't think it
Well,
is. I've heard that Roman Abramovich has already sent the money around. Like he's already brought in the 150 mil, and he said, "Look, this is the offer." You know what I mean? So
do you think Chelsea are just stalling? Do you think they're just trying to get the best deal possible, but they're in the end they're just going to chuck the money?
If we're really being penny wise pound foolish. I guess that's is that an English term? Penny wise.
Yeah, no,
I'm Irish. I have no idea.
I've heard that saying. Well, I know what that saying's about.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, why are we dickering over 5 or 10 million pounds or whatever? It's in the long run, the Holland T-shirt sales alone, the kit sales, I guess you guys call it kits.
Shirt sales, yeah.
Yeah, that alone is just going to make up for it. So why even bother? If we want the world-class star, especially if Lukaku is gone, then then you don't really have because the top three there's actually 4 strikers in the picture. There's Haaland, Lukaku, and then there's Kane. But then there's another one that everybody forgets, which is Lewandowski is also out there as well.
Oh, dear Christ! Come on.
No, it's not that people forget about Lewandowski. It's just Lewandowski ain't coming to the Premier League. He's already made that. He's made that abundantly clear. He's more than happy a stat pad in the Bundesliga than come over here.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, but our guy, our top tier journalist, his name is Matt Law, and 48 hours ago he said, "Don't count Lukaku out." So I don't know what that means.
Matt Law has also got things wrong in the world of life. So
yeah, that's true.
He's unless Romano says it, it's very unlikely.
My first choice for Chelsea is actually Lukaku and not Haaland because of the Mino Raiola thing. It's just I don't think
it's even that.
Also Premier League proven.
No, that as well. But Lukaku, go on. Lukaku will be half the price. He won't have to worry about.
There is that. But if money wasn't even a problem, right, let's just assume that we're all rich bastards. I'll just even say Lukaku's better just purely for the fact that he's done it in the Premier League before. Just having that bit of, and he's in his prime as well. You've got prime Lukaku here.
Yeah. He doesn't have a massive hype train behind him
oh god, yeah, 13, you don't have it.
13-year-old boy saying, "Oh, he's so good," even though he can't dribble 5 yards.
Yeah, you don't also have to give his dad a load of money, and you don't have to deal with Mino Raiola. So there are a lot of advantages to wanting Lukaku over Haaland. I won't lie to you.
Yeah,
there's advantages of taking Danny Ings over Lukaku at this rate.
I don't know. Would Danny work in a pupil system? I mean, if he does,
to be fair, you need a goal scorer. Danny Ings will score you goals. He's better than Werner.
Seriously,
Yeah,
no,
well,
lads, do not consider Danny
Werner
Ings.
is an assist merchant, right? He can assist. He,
Who Werner? Yeah, yeah. I mean, if
yeah.
look,
Werner
if
is a proven assist guy, so I mean, he can
yeah,
assist
but
whoever is the striker.
with
So
with all of these chances that Chelsea create,
yeah.
I'd say Danny Ings probably scores a fair few goals for Chelsea.
Well, what
Just
is a
chuck it
fair
out there.
view? Is that 15? Is that 20? Can we get it?
Yeah, I mean, with the chances you create in and around the box, he easily gets you 15 goals a
It
season.
if
Easily.
if we
That's
keep
if
our defense up, then 20 goals, 15 goals.
If you
for a
can keep
Chelsea
you can keep him
league.
injury free, if you can keep
that,
him
but
injury free,
no, that's impossible. That's
it's not
genuinely
not
it is
impossible. Not
it is.
impossible. So
Well,
look at
Kane
all
is
the
injury prone, and so
look.
is Pulisic,
Yeah,
right?
but look at all the teams that he's played at. He's always been the star man. There's been no one in there that could do the job. So at Southampton, he's pretty much got to play every game because what Shea Adams? Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. So he's got to play every game, very similar to Harry Kane. There's not a day where Spurs can just go, we're not going to play Harry Kane because we got this player who can come in and might not be as good as Harry Kane, but he'll still get us a goal. Right, so
Right.
Tottenham don't have that ability.
Yeah.
Southampton don't have that ability. At Chelsea, if you're playing like a Norwich or a Burnley or someone high up in the Championship in the EFL Cup, right, you could easily say, Danny Ings, take the night off, just sit on the bench, just have a Kit Kat, take a break. We're going to play Tammy Abraham, or we're even going to let Werner go up front for once and see what he can do.
Right.
I think that will instantly mean he gets more recovery time. He'll get less game time, but the games he'll play, he'll be much fresher for, and it seriously cuts his injuries down.
But
Well,
Niall,
if we were going to have to go, outside the box, think outside the box. There's a guy on Wolfsburg. His name is Weghorst.
Weghorst,
Yeah.
Dutch international,
And that guy is, hey, he speaks German. That's Tuchel's language. And Tuchel can mold anyone. So
it would be a great signing actually.
If we were to go outside the box, and I don't want to go outside the box, I just want to get either a Haaland or a Lukaku or a Lewandowski or a Kane, and I know the last two are not possible.
Yeah, but I also want to win the lottery, and that's not possible. But no, I do hear you. I want to quickly go to Herbert. Herbert, what do you want to talk about, mate?
What are you talking about? Danny.
So got we were briefly talking about Ings. The stories of Harry Kane, because we're about to do a massive Harry Kane topic. Really, we're going to talk to Harry Kane a bit because I'm going. Fuck it, we might as well. We'll just go straight into Harry Kane, shall we? We'll end on a happy note for Tottenham fans. We'll talk about their star man refusing to train with them. Herbert, Harry Kane, where do you see him ending up this summer? Because from the sounds of it, he's about to tell Daniel Levy, sorry, I'm on strike.
Yeah, he is on strike, but I don't think he has too much power just because of the contract. I mean, see, they got rejected by 100 million bid. So who is going to bid above that? If I am Tottenham, why wouldn't I want 150, 160? He just won the Golden Boot and had the most assists. So I don't think Levy is being a bastard. If he's asking for above 150, he's in his well right. He's English as well, England captain. So I mean, who is going to buy Harry Kane? Who is going to put that money, even if it's for payment in 3 or 4 years? It's going to be someone with lots of money. I mean, if City can, I'm hearing City are going for other options. So,
City,
I won't be surprised
Chelsea
if Kane stays.
I mean, realistically, City will get him because they're saying that they can't afford him. Bullshit. Like your owners are like literally Middle Eastern, right? They can literally afford half of the Premier League's players and like many more. Like
it's not like they've got to really strengthen in any other position, really. I mean,
well, no, a striker and then
that's about it. I mean, if United can get Sancho and Varane on in the same deal, Man City can definitely get Kane
and Grealish.
Easily.
Grealish is already done apparently. So
well, yeah, but even if they were just to get Kane, they could easily get. I mean, if United looking at spending around 150 million this summer. Once you take into account Sancho, Varane, maybe a DM, maybe a right back. So if United can do that,
that's 40. Yeah. And plus, with
Yeah,
the youth talent coming through, we don't have to rely on players like Bruno Fernandes to start in like the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup like every single week. We don't need to. We'll literally start the youngsters who are very talented and who have the potential. Like I said, Hannibal can easily do the job against, say, a Coventry or a fucking Derby County. Do you know what I mean? He'll easily get the job done. And it's just like I said,
be good experience for that. It'll be good experience for the
Carabao Cup. But like I said, we'll have to see how it goes. But for me, I'm not surprised that Kane is doing this. I kind of respect him for doing it because this is literally it's your make or break. Like I said, if anyone says like, oh, he should stay at Spurs, look, he has a career, right? Simple as this,
He's
right?
at that age, isn't he?
He's 27 years old.
Yeah.
All right, let's be real. He's about 5 years left because, like I said, his ankles are made out of Play-Doh. He speaks like a fucking muppet, so he can't really go into anything like public speaking. Okay, tell me I'm wrong, Niall. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm making no comment on this.
Okay, well, I saw the smirk, so you're agreeing with me in some sense. But look, here's what I'm going to tell you. Right? Mm-hmm. If I was Kane, I would think to myself, this is the right thing to do. If people don't agree with it, then fuck them. Because like I said, that's not, like I said, your career is on the line, not Spurs, right? Daniel Levy has no control over your career. The fact that you're England's #1 striker, you haven't won a trophy in your career, which is kind of pathetic. And look, fair play to him for doing it, but there's a downside for Spurs for this. You've lost your best striker, and now you have to try and find a new one to try and replace him. Now, realistically, you're not going to replace Harry Kane. There's physically no way. There's no way in hell you can replace him because he's that good. Like I said, top goal scorer and top assister in the Premier League last season. I mean, he did madness last season, let's be real, lads. But the thing is, can Spurs find a replacement with the fact that, they're going to be getting a load of money? So it's kind of like that Barcelona scenario. Do you remember when they sold Neymar for about 200 million? They went and they said, oh yeah, Ousmane Dembele, right? They'd have to pay 100 million for that. They'd have to pay 140 million plus add-ons. They still can't even afford bloody Philip Coutinho and other players, etc. Like I said,
I think the best example is look back to when Spurs sold Bale. It's much better to look at. It's better to look at what Spurs have done previously when selling a star player. Well, guess what? How did Spurs spend that money? Ridiculously poorly. So Spurs have got a history of not spending their money wisely. So we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. So I even put a tweet said, like, if they sell Harry Kane, realistically, they're not going to win a trophy, lads. Like I said, for some Spurs fans, I do feel for you because quite honestly, it's kind of a joke how your club's been treated by Daniel Levy. But at the same time, it is what it is. Like I said, the club is run by a muppet, and you keep buying the jersey, you keep supporting the club. No one's gonna blame you for moving. No, I don't. I'm not gonna. But like at the end of the day, lads, this is what I'm gonna tell you. Kane moves, it's all over for Spurs. I don't even think it's over for the Premier League. I think if Chelsea get Haaland, United get Sancho, Varane, and a CDM, we're looking at a very, very juicy Premier League season where these three horses can go to the very end. I'm not going to include Liverpool for a reason because the fact is their squad depth is probably worse than fucking every team in the Premier League. Okay, so tell me, who is Trent Alexander-Arnold's replacement? Nico Williams? Okay, get out of here. Right, simple as this. There's no squad depth in Liverpool.
We've seen what Liverpool do with squad depth at the moment, and if they get one injury, you are right there.
One thing I'll say is that I'm not going to rule Liverpool out. I'll put Liverpool above United just because of Jurgen Klopp. He can do wonders with a shite team. He won a Champions League with Henderson.
He was partly their problem last season. He was part of their problem last season because he kept playing central midfield as a centre back. And when anyone could have told you, if you had had that engine in that midfield, he might have still conceded a few goals with inexperience at the back, but you'd have had better because,
realistically, like I said, look, Klopp does deserve a bit of, I wouldn't say hate, but a bit of criticism for how he lined up last season. Realistically, he should have done a lot more, but look, that's the past, lads. We can't go back.
You are absolutely right. You should have done better. Reece says, Our squad depth is shit, but our best 11 is the best in the league and maybe the world.
No, nowhere close, mate.
Allison up there. Trent, yeah. Van Dijk, yeah. Gomez,
Konate.
yeah. Robertson, yeah.
Yeah.
Fabinho, definitely. Hendo, yeah, I'd say Hendo's up there.
Yeah. Then who's your other one?
Thiago, Curtis Jones, maybe.
Salah, yeah.
Salah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mane depends on what Mane turns up. Firmino, not a hope in hell's chance. So, for man, it's probably 7 out of 11. So it's a very decent 11. It is a decent 11, but we all know squad depth is crucial.
Let's talk about their B team. All right, let's go. So you have
we but we already know that the backups are shite. But Phantom says outside the box, Calvert-Lewin is a better choice than Danny Ings. Maybe. Man for man, yes, it is. I do hear that, but we are going to wrap it up there because in about 6 minutes time I'll be live because we've got the sprint race. I think at R4. I think it's R4, or is it 5? Let me check this. Formula 1, the sprint race. It's starting at 4:30. So the sprint qualifying or sprint race is at 4:30. So I need to be ready for 4:15. So we are going to wrap it up there. It's been a great show. We'll be also back live 8 p.m. tonight with a quiz. Ross has got a quiz for us to do. He's also in charge of this quiz, so that should be quite fun, very decent. But yes, before you go, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Check out our socials, Twitter, Let's Talk EPL, Instagram, Let's Talk EPL _ and on TikTok, Let's Talk Premier League. Kenny, where can they find you?
You can find me at Sancho's here, Let's Talk EPL, Clean TV on YouTube, and Clean the United fan on Twitch.
Perfect, cheers, mate. Herbert, what about you?
Yeah, on Twitter @Herbert15.
Perfect. And RG, where can they find you, bro?
Pretty much on every social media. Robotic Jaguar. Simple as that, lads.
Perfect. Love to keep it simple. As I said, we're back in 5 minutes with a sprint qualifying, so that should be fun. It's a little mini race, so we'll see how that goes, shall we? But until next time, thanks for watching and peace out.